All right, so let's get to our questions. So Miss Connie, I'm going to have you start us off today.
Alrighty.
Okay, so this first person asked, what was the change you tried that surprised you the most and the difference that it made for you?
Okay. Well, I've had migraines since I was in junior high. So really most of my life. And then when I did reach out to Debbie, I had gotten to the place where over the last probably 15 years, I was having about 8 to 12 migraines, sometimes 15 a month. But then I had, for some reason, jumped into having a migraine literally I couldn't go longer than 48 hours without a migraine. So I was desperate for help. I felt like, sorry, my life was being just so completely controlled by my pain. And I'm a go-getter, an active person. I don't like to be held back by things like that. So it was a really difficult time, but found Debbie, and I heard a video. I believe it was you and Aaron. And I thought that I've read and had migraines my whole life. Everything that there was to know about migraines. You couldn't tell me something new about migraines. And for some reason, you were in my Facebook feed, and I thought, I'm going to watch this video. And it was the salt in the water thing. And I thought, well, that's weird. That's something I haven't heard. And I wanted to know more about it and started looking up you and what you were about, and then came across you. And the biggest thing for me, I remember during our first initial call when I was trying to think, do I do this or don't I do this? You know, is it going to help me or not? And I was very skeptical, was immediately in talking to you, I realized there were things out there I didn't know. But when you said to me, Connie, it's not what you're eating, because I had such a clean diet. We raised, a lot of our own food. We raised our own beef, our own chickens, our own eggs. We very low sugar diet, all of these things. But you're like, it's how you're eating it. And that was the biggest thing for me to realize. And looking into that a little bit further for myself, I started realizing that in reality, I was not getting enough protein and healthy fat in my diet. And that was a huge thing for me. And that also, sugar was a huge trigger. And I really didn't want sugar and carbs to be a trigger for me. But I started figuring out that sugar and carbs were a huge trigger for me. But I always did like these migraine journals, food journals, and I could never track it to one food. And I think so I always thought, no, it's not my food. When yes, it was how I was eating. When I literally cut sugar from my diet, when I'm getting my healthy fat and my healthy protein, I am so free of migraines. And now, and it was a lot of little things. It wasn't just that one thing. It was the overall program. Every week I would look at the topic and I think, oh, okay, I'll listen to that, because I thought, I'm paying for it. I'm going to put the work into it. So I want to listen to every week. So I did that. But there was things that I thought, I'm not going to get much out of that, because I already do that, or I already know a lot about that. But in reality, I was still able to draw something out of each lesson that there was. And all of those little things just had such a huge impact. I think that little things came together and made a big overall impact. The sleeping thing, I had to take my TV out of my room. Didn't want to do that either.
I remember that.
I was like, no, it can't be that, but it was. All of those little things were making that perfect storm for me. So
absolutely,
it was a lot of things. Now I am not completely migraine free. I'm having about 1 to 3 migraines a month. However, I can usually always pinpoint, like, oh yeah, I ate those peanut M&Ms yesterday, and then I had kind of a high carby dinner, and I can usually look and know exactly why I am having a migraine. And then also, they're not at all what they used to be. Most of the time I can just write it out with an ice pack and some rest, and I'm not even treating them in the intensity. They're not making me vomit. They're not, like they were, to where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I need to go to the ER now, or my head's going to explode. I'm not having those type of migraines anymore. So I'm still working it, and still definitely, it's funny because I'll start to feel better and then I kind of slack off. And then I'll have them and I'm like, I can't slack off. Let's stay with it. So
you just said so many things, Connie. I don't even know what to unpack first, but I'll unpack so that we can kind of just let everybody really sink their teeth into that. I think it's really important for people to remember that migraine freedom is 100% possible. And at the same time, we all have choices that we can make on a daily basis. We can all choose to eat the M&Ms. We can all choose to have the birthday cake. We can all choose to stay up late or skip exercise. And we may see some consequences to that. But the key thing is to be able to know, like Connie, when those things happen, to be able to trigger and look back and go, this is why. This is what affected my threshold. This is what, created that. So now Connie can make a choice the next time. Are those M&Ms worth it? Or is that hour staying up worth it? Or skipping the gym in the morning worth it? So it's wonderful to have choices, and wonderful to know that we do have the power to take care of those migraines. So thank you for sharing all that, Connie, because it really is. It is all about the big picture, the little tweaks. And you were definitely adamant when we were on our first call together. Debbie, I don't know what you can tell me, because I've done it all, and when we mentioned the modules and the things, you're like, I'm not going to need those. I really don't think I will. But I love the way that you said that you pulled something from everyone. So that is key to know, that there is no one thing that's going to come and beat you over the head and say, do this, and that's going to take care of your migraines. Right. There is no one magic thing. Yeah. If there was, none of you would be here, and wonderful women wouldn't have migraines, right?
Yeah. So I'm just so thankful for the group. So changed my life. And, that's what I just want to convey to somebody who's on that fence thinking, can you help me? Yes, she can. She can, and she has. And it was the best money I ever spent, the best time I've ever spent on myself. So I get emotional because I'm so grateful. And anytime I get a chance to share what my experience with the group, with somebody who I come across who has migraines, or even my headache doctor, I do. So anyway, thank you. Well, I should be saying thank you.
Thank you, Connie. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you, Debbie.
Absolutely.